Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin as we're entering here the long bank holiday weekend. Unfortunately not in the UK where I live, but in the US, obviously a very important market. So it will be an interesting weekend. It doesn't necessarily mean it will be a quiet weekend as we've seen in previous or recent long bank holiday weekends where actually the market was selling off quite strongly. So just because it's a long bank holiday weekend doesn't mean it will be a quiet weekend. We've recently seen a lot of volume on weekends, or at least a lot of volatility in the crypto market on a weekend. So let's see. Last weekend was a bit boring, we have to say. So let's see. We need to be prepared for everything, as always in the crypto market. So looking here at the latest developments about Bitcoin. So we haven't made another lower low. So far, we came up here in this bullish wave count. This is the bullish wave count. Doesn't mean we are breaking out. It just means that we have it on the radar that we could be breaking out. And important for you is to know what needs to happen for a possible breakout to the upside and for a possible breakout to the downside to understand from which point it will get more likely that we actually are in a possible breakout scenario and will have a bit of a rally. Now again, if that will be an all-time high rally or if it just will be a corrective rally, that is what we need to see, and that is only what the structure will reveal at a later stage. So let's just take a zoom out. So for example, and I explained it all in detail in one of the recent member live streams here, I think it was last Sunday, where we looked at different options for how and when the next bull run could take place. But there are different options. So if I tell you that I expect a rally, and I do expect a rally here shortly. Now, again, we could make a lower low before we have that rally, but there will be a rally. There has to be a rally. It will recover that market. It's just too much in the oversold range. Now, again, it needs a catalyst usually, yeah, and that could be anything. But there are different options, also options that go very well in line with the current market situation, macroeconomics, the risk of a recession. Yeah, so there are possibilities because we could just get a corrective rally to the upside. Yeah, I showed you before that we could have scenarios where we are just doing, for example, and of course I would need to readjust the wave count for that, but it could be, and this would be a totally valid count, we could have just an A. All of this was a wave A. We get a wave B rally, and then we'll come down in a wave C once more. This is still a possibility. Then we had the other possibility where all of this could just be here a huge Elliott Wave triangle where we do something like that, yeah. And this is one possible. No, sorry, wrong way around. Where we had something like that here, and we then do something like this, where this is the wave C because it's a 3-wave move down at the moment. We come then up in another wave D, yeah, for example, by adhering here to these trend lines. So we could, for example, just an idea, do this and then come down once more, which would be an awesome, an absolutely amazing scenario. Yeah, because here you can make a lot of money. This would be a huge move up and then would be followed by a huge move down. But which of these scenarios will follow? That is what the structure will reveal as we go higher, because then we will be understanding if there is any weakness in the chart and if this will just be a corrective move up or an impulsive move up. That is what we will see later. Or the scenario which would be also possible. Question is how likely it is in such an environment, and also before the next halving. Is this where we move up to a new all-time high around 125k, for example? This would then be a wave 3, because this was a wave 1, A, B, C, and a wave 2, and then the wave 3 would be following. But the possibility is this could only happen after the next halving, for example, the next halving cycle. Usually you get a cycle top in every halving cycle. Now, arguments could be, or some people might argue, we've already seen the cycle top here. Some indicators measure it as a cycle top, what we've seen here. Others don't. So it's all a question of perspective. But yeah, I just want to emphasize here that we could definitely get a rally, even if it is just a corrective rally that might be followed by another sell-off, but it can be traded and money can be made. And if it really will be that third wave to the upside, will only revealed by the structure on the way up and the Fibonacci extensions that we will see on the way up. But let's take a look at the lower level wave count. So far, not much has happened here since the last video. We did here obviously yesterday, a couple of days ago, shoot up quite strongly. Most of that was sold off again. You can see that here. Came down here to the 78.6% FIB level. Everything fine with that, yeah, absolutely no issue. So looking at where we are coming from, this in a bullish scenario could have been a wave 1 in purple, this here a wave 2 in an ABC. And after the wave 2, we now need to be on high alert that this here could already be the beginning of a wave 3 in purple, which would obviously be this would only be a first small subwave of that, where it currently is looking like we came up in an impulsive move and we moved down in a corrective move down. Now here again, if this is the case, as I said yesterday, if this is a third wave to the upside, something needs to happen now, because a third wave is usually the most bullish one. But to be honest, we don't see much. And also I mentioned to you that one key level for a possible breakout, the first relevant level, is this high here around 19.6k. This would be the first relevant level for a breakout, and unless we break above that, we probably don't see a lot. So to the upside, to trigger a more bullish scenario here and to get some movement, that level needs to be on the radar. I mean, it's hard to give you one specific dollar level because prices are too dynamic, but certainly here, if we take the wick into account, we can do that. This is sort of the resistance here, small resistance between 19.56 and 19.75k. If we get above that level, then we can go to the next high here. This is on the 1 hour chart, by the way, but this is significant resistance, as you can see, because, I mean, it's all relative. It's on the 1 hour chart, so it's not huge significance, but here for the next movements it is. So here, resistance here, here, and here. So definitely something worth mentioning. And this is the level of 20.4k that we would need to go above. So in a bullish scenario, we would first need to break through this resistance area, can then move up to 20.4k. From here, if we break that, I would say we can move to that larger resistance area here in red, between 21.36 and 21.7k. Then we can move higher, but these moves are not yet that relevant. First of all, we need to focus on the next resistance areas. To the downside, yeah, we are currently in a range, as you can see here, between two levels, basically between this resistance area here that I highlighted just now and the support, which is here between 19,050 pretty much, yeah, and here 18,940. So this is the support area that we would need to break for a more bearish alternative, yeah. And even in the bullish scenario, we could move down a little bit lower, but as soon as we move below 18.6k, so this swing low here, it would invalidate a possible bullish count for this immediate scenario, because what could be is that this here was already the low of the wave 2 in purple, and from here we are now heading up in a wave 3 in purple. But again, for that we would count this as a wave 1, this as a wave 2, and then we would now need to enter the wave 3, 4, 5. That would then finish off here wave 3 in purple, okay? But for that, we now need to start moving, because a wave 3 is oftentimes the most bullish one, and I gave you just the key resistance levels we need to get through to make that more likely. Now from an Elliott Wave point of view, as I said, this could be a 1, this could be a 2. This here could now be another 1 and a 2 possibly, yeah, on a lower time frame. Maybe the first wave and the second wave of the wave 3, but then we would now need to really start, okay? And if you see us making lower lows, this would be invalidated anyway, and we have still a chance in this bullish wave count to break below, to get all the way down to 18.6k. But if we get down to that level, it will already get a bit tough, yeah, because then we're already maxing out what we can do here. And lastly, if we break below that 18.6k level here, we have big problems to hold this bullish scenario, and then would possibly move even lower, obviously, and can then see that 17.9k level, and then possibly even here 17.5. But if we go below 17.5, then anyway, all of this here has all of this bullish wave count has been invalidated, because then we've made a lower low and then we'll probably go quite a bit of a chunk lower. Yeah, until then we have a chance to make a double bottom here, but yeah, I mean, it's not great to come down necessarily to the same price level again, also not from the Fibonacci retracement levels. For now, if we can hold this one that you can see here, 18.6, that would be a good sign. So all eyes need to be on that level. And if now in the next few hours or a couple of days we're moving through these levels to the upside, that could definitely trigger something more bullish and a bit of a rally. For now though, we're just moving sideways, and this could even become some kind of a triangle maybe. Bear in mind, a wave, if this is a wave 1 and this a wave 2 cannot be a triangle in itself. So we need to keep a close eye on that. It could be this is just the wave A of the wave 2, this the wave B of the wave 2, and this can be a triangle, but it's a bit too early to say that. I think other possibilities are more likely. But this is pretty much here currently the view on the Bitcoin chart. Not too much movement, we need to say. Yeah, a bit quiet start into the Saturday, but let's see what the weekend brings. You're aware now of the support and resistance levels. Drop off in volume, as you can see here as well on the 1 hour chart. Usually when you see that again, that will be followed by quite a strong move. As always, when you're squeezed here into some kind of an apex, because this is a bit like how it is looking like, yeah, then this will be followed by a strong move. It's a bit like a spring that gets compressed and will then be released. So yeah, here have that on the radar. Seems a bit like a triangle, as I just said. So we need to have that on the radar, and this would also be a possible breakout pattern. Yeah, absolutely possible. So as I said, wave B. So if let's say just to play around with scenarios here, really. Yeah. So what we could have is here all of that being a 3-wave move in a wave A. Then this could become a wave B, and then we have another wave C to the downside actually. Because here in a wave B itself can be a triangle. So from that A, B, you would then get something like that, and then the move down. Okay, so keep an eye on that. Currently, obviously, it's a small triangle, so I wouldn't put too much emphasis on this. Yeah, and then the wave E high would be the wave B. Then we could move down from there, and would probably still make or be able to hold in this wave C above the beginning of this wave 1. Yeah, so this is just another possibility, and that could be a scenario if we go below those support areas here, and if you see the wave B being broken below 19.1k pretty much, then this is, in my opinion, a good confirmation that the triangle here is breaking out to the downside. It's a bit too early to make the case for a triangle at the moment. This could also just be a 1, a 2, and another 1 and a 2, from which you should start to the upside. So it's a bit too early. As always here on the lower wave counts, these are very fragile. Yeah, but I always try to make you aware of various possibilities, as you know. So hope you have a great weekend. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.